Hey guys, what's going on? This is Space here, and today we've got another review. That's right, another one. Yeah, can you believe it? Yes, you can, of course, it is right here. And anyways, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started right away. So today's review is on BioShock 2. Now, if you haven't seen my BioShock 1 review, I recommend watching that before, maybe, if you want to, you don't have to. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on with this. So here's the trailer. Alright, pretty cool, right? Alright. So this game takes place 10 years after the first one. Pretty cool, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the facts and stuff, like when it came out and who it was developed by. So, here we go. BioShock 2 came out in on February 9th, 2010. It was made by 2K Games as well. Very nice, very nice. And yeah, so we're going to talk about the story and then the gameplay aspects. So first off with the story. Now, without going into too much detail and spoiling stuff, you play as a Big Daddy, and like I said before, this is 10 years after the first game. And you lost your little sister, so you have to go find her, and you're in the city of Rapture once again. Alright, so there's a lot more to the story, of course, and there's a new villain. Her name is Lamb, and yeah, and there's references to the first game in the second game, so I recommend playing the first game first if you want to play this game. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into the gameplay stuff then. Alright, so one of the first things you'll notice, just like in the first game, the second game's graphics are very good. I like them a lot. Very nice. And they have the creepy aspect to it without it being a horror game, just like in the first game. And that's always nice. And one of the things that you'll notice is that you, of course, play as a Big Daddy. And one of the things I like about this game is like it's basically everything that you wanted to do in the first game, but now you can do it. Isn't that awesome? Alright, so you play as a Big Daddy, of course. Like I said before, you've got a drill as a melee weapon instead of the wrench from the first game. But you can find wrenches around, but you actually can't pick them up. But you know, they're there. They're there. Don't worry, they're there. And yeah, so you make your way through Rapture. You find more weapons as you go along. Now the weapons are basically like the first game's weapons, just different skins, more or less. That's kind of a very simplistic way of saying it, but yeah. There's a rivet gun, which I think is very cool. It's a lot different than the pistol. And we've got a shotgun, a machine gun, and some other weapons, of course, like the spear gun, one of my personal favorites. And a new thing that you notice is the auto hacking tool, or just the hacking tool in general. Now, what this does, it has 3 different types of ammo. Now, each gun pretty much has 3 different types of ammo. That's something that I forgot to mention in the first video. But each gun pretty much has 3 different types of ammo. I don't think any of them don't have 3 different types of ammo. But yeah, there's like a flame and armor piercing, stuff like that. You'll see if you play the game, of course. And you might see it on screen as well. But anyways, so the auto hacking tool allows you to shoot it at anything, well not anything of course, like the vending machines, the camera, stuff like that. And it allows you to hack it from a distance. That means you don't have to get up and personal with it, which I thought was very cool. I like that a lot. And yeah, and there's a new hacking system. It is a one where you don't have to do all the pipes and stuff. You actually have like a little thing that like zooms by. You'll see it on the screen, and you have to hit it when it's on either the green or the blue. So sometimes it can be difficult. It's more difficult than the first game's hacking system, but I think it's actually better than the first hacking game or the first game's hacking system. So that's cool. And if you were annoyed with the first game's hacking system, this one might be better for you. Also, another big thing to notice, you can dual wield in this game. That's right, the second game you can dual wield. Something that you probably wanted in the first game but never had. And man, is it amazing. So, you can put a plasmid in one hand and have a gun in another hand, and which is absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the best ideas they've had for this game so far. And yeah, freaking amazing. So that makes combat a little different from the first game. Now, there are still a lot of the same people. There are splicers, of course, in this game. I don't really remember seeing any of the ones that throw stuff at you. But yeah, then there's a new guy. I don't think he was in the first game. It's a brute, or I think it's a brute. And yeah, you know. But anyways, so he's a big guy, and he is pretty hard to defeat sometimes. Just takes a second to defeat him. And that's always cool. You can throw stuff at you as well, which is nice. Yeah, very nice. And there you go. So there aren't really any more new enemies. There is alphas, which are basically Big Daddies, but they're like the first version of Big Daddies. And I forgot to mention the main character's name is Delta, which is the Big Daddy that you play as, and he's basically one of the first Big Daddies. So yeah, I probably should have mentioned that before, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, so you've got the alphas that show up later in the game. They can be hard to defeat sometimes, but I noticed that as the game progressed, they became pretty easy to kill. So yeah, and of course there are still Big Daddies in the game. You can harvest little sisters if you want, but now you can actually rescue them, which I think is very cool. And you can make them basically work for you, and you can harvest more Adam that way. We'll be talking about that in a second. And yeah, very cool. And you also get to set them back or harvest them again, so you get ample time to be bad. So that's nice. And yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about the money system and some of the upgrade systems and stuff. And here we go. Alright, so the money system is the same as the first game. There are the free vending machines, you've got the circuits of value, the ammo one, and then the plasmid one. And the circuits of value, of course, has your medic kits, you've got your Eve dropping things, vaccine, I don't remember what they called, but anyways. So you've got that, and Eve, of course, is what you need in order to use your plasmids. And there you go. So then you've got your ammo one, which is just a bunch of ammo. And the circuits of value has some ammo, but it doesn't have the wide variety that the ammo one does, of course. And there you go. And also, you've got the one that gives you plasmids, or aka power-ups. And that one costs Adam instead of normal money to get power-ups. And you can also upgrade your health and your Eve in there, so you can have more health and more Eve. And yeah. Now, there are upgrading stations found around the map that you can upgrade your weapons in, of course. I think they've added some more stuff since BioShock 1. There's a couple of different things for some different weapons. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And I don't think there is a crafting recipe. Or crafting station. I've looked around and I haven't seen one, so I'm pretty certain that there's no crafting in this one. So if you like that in the first game, well, sorry, it's kind of gone. But I mean, I didn't really miss it that much. So yeah, there you go. But anyways, so yeah. And there are even underwater stuff that you get to do. Like you get to sometimes go outside of Rapture, like the inside, like, you know, the quarters and stuff. You get to go outside there and go into the water, which I thought was also pretty cool. I mean, you don't get to do that in the first game, so that's always nice. And yeah. The characters, once again, are very memorable. They've got the Atlas-like person, Sinclair, which I thought was an amazing character. He's probably one of my favorite characters so far in the BioShock universe. So yeah, there you go. and you're left with some moral decisions as well. Just like in the first game, you can either save people or kill them. Now, that changes the fate of the game. And yeah, of course, there are multiple endings. I think there are 6 or 8 different endings. Now, there's the 3 main ones, and there's some little ones that vary slightly, you know. But anyways, so there's the sad ending, the bad, or the no, there's 4 main ones. There's the sad ending, the bad ending, the evil ending, and then the good ending. And personally, I got the good ending on the first try, and the good ending is probably the most satisfying one for those of you that want to be satisfied. And yeah, it's a lot more emotional than the first game, have to admit. And you understand the bond between the little sister and the big daddy in the end of the game, which I thought was pretty cool. So you look at them differently now. Instead of just being a guard, you know, yeah, like a father figure. Anyways, so now my rating. Now, Steam gave it a 9 out of 10. Metacritic gave it a 4.5 out of 5. And personally, I give it either a 9.7 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. Somewhere in between there. Basically just like the same, or like the first game. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite BioShock yet, but I think the first and the second are fairly tied. Now I have to admit that the story is a little stronger in some parts than the first game, but in the second game, the story definitely has a little more emotion. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in this video. Bye bye!